A new report from Punchbowl News says that Amazon is looking to avoid the blame for raising prices as a result of President Trump's new tariff. It was supposed to be just another move in a trade war, another volley in a tariff battle that had already rocked supply chains, unsettled economies, and reshaped corporate strategy across the globe. But this time, something snapped. Amazon did not respond with a press release. It did not send a spokesperson. It did not ask for an exception. It moved, not quietly, not symbolically, but strategically. And now the shockwaves are starting to hit. For a company that once defined American e-commerce, the future is no longer centered around the United States. Reports are emerging that Amazon is shifting its global headquarters out of the country altogether, setting up a new command center in the United Arab Emirates, an economic oasis far removed from the tariff hammer now falling in Washington. It is not a stunt, it is not political theater, it is economic survival, and the one man caught flat-footed is the one who fired the first shot. Donald Trump built his second trade war on boldness, a fresh round of tariffs on everything from smartphones to sneakers, 145% duties on key Chinese goods. And just in the last few moments, the BBC has confirmed that US tariffs against China add up to 145%. That is on top of that is including the existing 20% tariffs that were already imposed on the country. A 10% baseline tariff on nearly every import, a threat of 25% levies on Apple. In a social media post Friday, Trump said, "I expect iPhones sold in the US will be manufactured and built in the United States, not India or any place else. If that isn't the case, threatening a tariff of at least 25% on smartphones made abroad. 50% tariffs on European exports." Well, after weeks of back and forth at the beginning of the year, there had been some hope over the past couple of weeks or so that Donald Trump could walk back some of his most extreme tariff threats, especially after that surprise truce was struck with China. Well, the US president brought his threats back yet again Friday, saying on his Truth Social platform that he's recommending a 50% tariff on the European Union starting from June the 1st. And this because trade talks with the bloc have stagnated, according and a firm warning to companies: stay loyal, stay silent, or stay out of the way. But Amazon is not staying silent. It is not staying still. And now Trump is learning what happens when the world's most powerful logistics machine decides to pivot. Not against him, but around him. Before we continue, hit that like button to help us beat the YouTube algorithm and to show your support. At first, it seemed like Amazon might try to ride it out. The company accelerated shipments. Sellers pushed inventory into warehouses ahead of tariff deadlines. Items were stocked, stored, pre-positioned. For a few weeks, it worked. Consumers did not see the impact. Prices held, the algorithms adjusted. But inside Amazon's war rooms, the writing was already on the wall. Supply costs were climbing, warehouse margins were shrinking, and the de minimis loophole, the last defense, was closed. That loophole allowed low-cost products to enter the United States duty-free if they were under $800 in value. It was the foundation of Amazon Haul, the company's budget-friendly platform that flooded the US market with trinkets, tools, and cheap electronics from abroad. With the loophole gone, every one of those items now faced the full weight of Trump's tariffs. Margins disappeared, shipping collapsed. Daily volume from Chinese sellers dropped more than 80% almost overnight. Suddenly, the numbers no longer worked. Amazon could not keep absorbing the hit. Vendors could not keep discounting. Logistics could not keep bending. Something had to give, so it did. The first sign was internal. Procurement teams began slashing vendor contracts. Listings from certain regions were delisted. Ocean freight lanes were rerouted. Air shipments were paused and quietly, discreetly, executives began discussing the unthinkable, decoupling from the American logistics core. That conversation is now global. Amazon has not officially confirmed the move, but leaks are mounting. Multiple reports now claim the company is preparing to relocate its global headquarters to the United Arab Emirates, a region known for free trade, low taxation, and minimal regulatory friction. The strategy is clear: escape the tariff web, operate globally, avoid confrontation, preserve growth. If true, it would mark one of the most dramatic corporate pivots in recent history. And it is not just symbolic, it is logistical. The center of command, the heart of the machine moving east. Donald Trump has not directly addressed the report, but his pattern is familiar. Last month, when Amazon briefly considered displaying US tariff search charges on product pages, showing customers how much prices were inflated due to trade policy, the backlash was immediate. The White House accused Amazon of political posturing. The administration labeled the idea hostile. Garrett, key White House officials were pressed about these tariffs and this new Amazon move just last hour. What did they say? And Trump picked up the phone himself. He called Jeff Bezos. The message was clear. Do not embarrass me. Do not blame me. Do not show your customers the cost. Amazon backed down. The pricing display was cancelled. Trump praised the reversal. He told reporters that Bezos was very nice and had solved the problem very quickly. The moment passed, but the truth remained. Amazon had tried to show the impact. Trump had ordered them to bury it. And now the company may be doing something more permanent. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button to show your support to the channel. This is not just about Amazon. Apple is also on the list. Trump has demanded that iPhones be made in the United States, not in India, not in Vietnam, not anywhere else. He has threatened a 25% tariff on any Apple product not built domestically. Tim Cook flew to Washington last week to meet with Trump directly. No deal was announced. No truce was declared. The pressure remains. Apple has already moved production to multiple countries. Its India expansion is growing, but Trump has made it clear that will not be enough. The only acceptable iPhone, in his words, is one built on American soil. In the automotive world, Ford is adjusting too. The company just announced a $2,000 price increase on models produced in Mexico. The Ford is hiking its prices on 3 vehicle models that are made in Mexico due in part to higher import tariffs. US automaker says Bronos Sport, Mach-E, and Maverick will each go up $2,000. Ford adds that the price hikes that is, will impact vehicles built after May 2nd, and that cars already shipped or are already on the lots will not be impacted, including the Mustang Mach-E and the Bronco Sport. Trump's tariffs are costing Ford over $2 billion in additional expenses this year. General Motors is projecting even more, and while some factories are being localized, others are being idled. Forecasts are being pulled. Expansion plans are being shelved. Consumers are already seeing the fallout. Price tags are rising. Inventory is thinning. Lead times are growing. This is what happens when trade policy becomes unpredictable. When tariffs change week to week, when exemptions are unclear, when threats are policy, Amazon's decision to relocate, if confirmed, is not an act of defiance. It is risk management. The company does not want to wage war. It wants to deliver packages, but it also wants to survive. And the numbers in the United States are no longer survivable. The global logistics map is changing. Distribution centers are opening in Latin America. Port routes are shifting. Sourcing teams are now operating out of South Asia. The core of Amazon's machine is no longer tied to any one geography, and Trump's tariff wave is accelerating that evolution. Ironically, this may be the outcome Trump feared most. Not companies resisting him, but companies moving on without him. Quietly, strategically, permanently. The political cost could be high. Trump has made economic nationalism a cornerstone of his campaign, bringing jobs back, forcing companies to stay, using tariffs as leverage. But when the largest retailers in the world begin leaving, even subtly, that narrative begins to crack. The public has not yet felt the full effect. Amazon's advanced stockpiling masked the price hike. Temporary warehouse maneuvers have delayed the impact. But by summer, the shelves will tell a different story. Prices will rise, selection will shrink, shipping may slow, and shoppers already stretched will begin to ask why. Amazon will not say much, but Trump may have to, because if more companies follow this path, shifting operations, rewriting contracts, reconsidering their US footprint, the fallout will not just be economic, it will be political. This is not about ideology, it is about math. If the cost of staying outweighs the benefit, companies will leave. They always have, they always will. Tariffs can shape behavior, but they cannot force loyalty. Amazon's rumored relocation is not an act of rebellion. It is a warning, and it is just the